All right, guys, it's the stream for tonight, May 4th. Of course, we do this stream every single first Tuesday of a given month. I want to thank everyone who's waiting patiently to come into the stream tonight. I know we had Jackie and we had Titus that showed up. I don't know if he's still here right now, but thank you for coming into the stream. I know you always catch it on video on demand. I think it's very, very early in the morning on your side in Japan. So I want to thank everyone who, my locals who always show up, my usuals always show up to my stream. Thank you very much for supporting the channel like you always do. This stream is going to be a little bit different. We're doing more of an open Q&A policy. Let me just kind of get the light looking a little better. There we go, much better. We're doing an open Q&A forum tonight. So anyone who comes into the stream can ask questions, even the favorites that are here, even the locals who come into my stream every week. If they want to ask questions, they can as well. We'll probably get maybe 2 or 3 people, and I'm not looking for a huge following tonight, only because as we do these streams, they're more thematic. They usually have some type of goal or idea in these streams. But tonight's stream, I wanted to do a little shitting off the cusp here, do something a little bit different. That was the idea for the stream tonight. Drink, I always talk about the drinks tonight. We're doing, again, sparkling ice. We're doing some of this pink grapefruit right here. Very good drink. No sugar, really, really good. Tastes very, very yummy. So before we do anything, first thing is first, as always, we always talk about pickups. So let's talk about recent pickups. Sorry, my table moved. Recent pickups that I picked up this week or 2 ago. 2 things that we'll be talking about. First is an action figure. The second is a subscription box. I am, again, as I mentioned before, looking for subscription boxes to get back to doing those again. My fan base that really got with me when I first started the channel in 2016 really liked me doing toy hunts and subscription boxing videos. And the toy hunts have been lackluster, mainly because of course, the world as we know it. And subscription boxes have been on and off. You know, I did the stuff for the Z-Box. That was the last box I did for any type of consistency. I went back to an old favorite. We'll talk about that shortly. Let's talk about the action figure first for recent pickups. So, the action figure we picked up is, I got it at, let me fix this real quick here. I got it at a GameStop. I couldn't shoot any video if I wanted a toy hunt because GameStop has their embargo in place where they have it, not embargo, but they have a restriction to shoot any type of video inside their locations unless you know the people at the locations. And the reason why they do this, if you're not aware, is 2 reasons. One is because of their displays, how they put their displays together. They don't want that to be they want it to be a trade secret. That's what they say. And the second reason is a form of security. And the reason why I do that is if you can walk in there with your camera, you can look where the security cameras are in their locations to possibly do a robbery. That's why they usually don't allow people to shoot video in a GameStop. Jackie or Titus, let me know in the stream. Can you hear me okay? Hopefully you can. I got the mic pretty close right now. So let me know if the sound is okay. That's what I was going to get to in a second. Hey, thanks for coming into the stream tonight. So what we picked up today, or a couple days ago, was this bad boy right here. The Mcfarland Toys DC Multiverse Green Lantern John Stewart. This will be reviewed. I did, of course, we did my Green Lantern John Stewart from the Justice League Animated. I did a full video of that one. I also did on the Dawnbreaker. I did the review of that one. We're going to be doing one of this one as well. And this figure, to me, without even taking it off the card, apologies for the glare, without taking this off the card is a love-hate relationship, this particular figure. And the reason why, I'll talk more about it when I do my unboxing video for this, is that, thanks Jackie, and the reason why is because Green Lanterns, coming from someone who, I won't call myself an expert, I would say someone who's in the know. I know a good chunk of info of Green Lantern, and what I don't know, I research and figure out. Most Green Lanterns, as far as I've seen, with the exception, I think it was either in Rebirth or, actually, this is the one. This is Rebirth. I thought it was for Rebirth. Didn't wear body armor. Green Lanterns don't need body armor. They have a force field that's skin tight around their suit. They don't need to worry about body armor. So what Mcfarland Toys did, I don't know if you could see it here. You could see it kind of coming across on the camera. There's plates all over his chest and on his arms and things like that. It's sculpted in. Green Lanterns don't need a form of body armor. So why Mcfarland decided to go this route, and maybe even because of Rebirth had that, some of the issues of Rebirth I don't really remember all that well, but I don't remember them wearing body armor a whole lot. Maybe this was just artistic license by Mcfarland Toys, or maybe as a form of being lazy and taking a buck off a Batman figure and just swapping some parts out for it. putting, let's say, a new head sculpt, getting a cool looking Gatling gun, the backpack, and the armored shoulders and chest piece here for the construct, and making it that way. That's what it kind of looks like to me. Or I could be completely mistaken and they did have body armor. I don't remember them really wearing body armor. Maybe it was in like a Jim Lee drawing, which is what this is right here. This artwork on the back is from Jim Lee. And Jim Lee is really known to exaggerate his drawings, but that John right there doesn't scream body armor to me. At least looking at the skin-tight outfit he has, the chest and the arms, that doesn't really scream body armor to me. So I don't know why they're going that road and why they built this figure this way. So that's why I say this is a love-hate relationship. Yes, it's a Green Lantern figure. Yes, you guys know I pick up the action figures for Green Lantern. I try to pick up as many as I possibly can, mainly because that is my character of choice. And B, there's not a lot of, A and B, there's not a whole lot of merchandise when it comes to Green Lantern. When you have an S-Shield or a Batman logo, you have tons and tons of merchandise opportunities. It's a fact. Look it up. Those are the two biggest selling properties for DC. Superman and Batman. I would say Wonder Woman's up there and so is Flash. And maybe Arrow because of the TV shows. But those are the most celebrated figures when it comes to DC. Most of the time, characters like Green Lantern usually get, thrown to the wayside. And we'll talk more about Green Lantern shortly because there's a little bit of news that dropped on that. We'll talk more about that in a second. So this will be reviewed probably in about a week or so. As I mentioned, we are going to be doing subscription unboxing videos again, and I decided to go back with a... Yep, I got mine at GameStop is where I got mine. I think it was $25 for that one. Again, I'm not sold with it. I don't like the body armor from the Rebirth stuff. I'm not a fan of it. And don't even get me started with the later run that happened with the guy who, I can't remember the author's name now. It was Green Lantern from 2019, 2020. The new stuff, I haven't read it yet. I picked up the first issue. I will be reading that book. Don't know anything about it yet. No spoilers, please. Again, for tonight, we're doing some sparkling ice, pink grapefruit. Hey, Christopher Lopez, thanks for coming into the stream tonight. Not one of my regulars, thanks for dropping in. So I mentioned before, we're doing back subscription boxing videos. We're going to be doing those starting this coming Thursday. I finally got myself a box. I went back to a company that I kind of dropped. And I dropped them for one of the main reasons is when you put items in a box and you put those same items in a box repeated month after month and it's the identical items, it gives a bad taste in the mouth for people who purchase these products. And this particular company did do that. And I'm hoping they had a course correction and fixed their problems and gave a better box. I'm hoping they did that. I'm not sure if they did. Thanks, Christopher. Awesome. Thanks for saying that. So I'm not 100% sure how this box is going to work. I've heard good things about them. Thanks, Christopher. I'm not entirely sure what they're going to be like. I haven't seen any unboxing videos. I haven't really put my pulse on the company if they did anything better or not. But I said, you know what? Let me give them a shot again. Hell, I gave Bambox a shot in 2019, and they just pooped the bed. They crapped the bed just so bad. And it was worse than their 2016 boxes. So I went back with an old box. Price point, I believe, for this was $25. Normally this box is, I think, $30 US. So, who are we going to be doing the review for this coming Thursday, which will be the 6th. So this will be done on the 6th. We're doing, back to these guys again. Let me switch it around. There we go. We're going Geek Fuel. I decided to go back to Geek Fuel. It is a very, very big box. I'm going to be doing this box this coming Thursday. This is their April 2021 box. I steered clear from any type of spoilers. I didn't want to know anything about this box. I'm going in as a newbie, or going in very, very green to this box. I'm going in from this particular perspective. Normally I don't do that. Normally when I do an unboxing video, I like to know, if I research a company, I want to know, is it thematic? What's this box all about? Get an idea of what could be in it. I'm going in from a different perspective, guys. I'm going from a different approach this time. I'm going from someone who has no clue about a subscription box and saw this box for the very, very, very first time. That was my approach to this box. That's the idea I wanted to take with it. And I think it's a good approach, especially someone who's on the fence on should they buy a box, and if they buy a box, is this company for them? Because remember, just because I have the box that month doesn't mean you're going to get the same stuff the next following month. Normally these things are some thematic. Normally they'll have like most of the time companies do this 4-item deal, which I'm not a fan of. That's right. It's 4, like, woo! Four Horsemen. I'm not a fan. I had to go my little bit of wrestling history there, guys. I'm not a fan of just putting 4 items in a box. I don't like that. I like when you give you more value for your money. That's how you know if you have a good company. I keep praising the company who's no longer in business, at least from what I know is Collector's Case. They did very, very weird things. I mean, you had celebrity autographs you could potentially get, and it was random. They always did trading cards, and you usually did, if they did a trading card, you had a really good shot at getting some type of signature, or you had a hit. You had, let's say, a costume card or a animated cell of the film, or a cutout of the film. Things like that is what Collector's Case usually did, and they would normally give you a special pack, and they'll say this, you're guaranteed one hit out of this pack. You can get a guaranteed signature, and those are usually the chase cards that people really, really want. Let's fix the camera real quick, guys. Sorry about that. Let me move it a little bit over. Right. There we go. Better. So they normally try to do the those hits in those packs. Apologies for that. And when they normally do this, it's it's a very good feeling, because even if you didn't get the special celebrity autograph that they were really touting about in that month's box, you got at least something in those trading card packs, and that was very, very cool. They would do Funko items. They do stuff like that. They did the specific Funko products they would give out, and they were consistent with their products. They didn't really screw you over. I didn't really think I've ever gotten a bad box for them. I think I had their boxes for, I want to say, 8 to 10 months until it looks like they went out of business. This is pre-COVID. So they were gone like in 2018, unfortunately. I want to say 2018, 2019. I think it was 2018 they left. But it's a damn shame. So I'm giving Geek Fuel, again, guys, a shot. I want to see if they can, put their money where their mouth is and give some good product. That's the idea for this particular box. And we're doing this again on this coming Thursday, May 6th. The video will be going up. I haven't cracked into this box yet. I just got it today. So that will be the review, unboxing video for this coming Thursday. I want to do more of these. I like doing subscription unboxings. We could talk about that in the Q&A. If you ask me, or give me some ideas for Q&A boxes, for boxes you want me to unbox, please let me know in the comments section. I definitely would like to know, some other boxes that are out there. Z boxes off the table, BAM boxes off the table, Loot Crates off the table. Of course, we know Nerd Block is gone. There was a resurgence that was supposed to come back with a different name, but it never came back. Yeah, I gotta dye my hair. I look very aged right now. Not a fan of that. I just haven't had a chance to dye it yet. So I don't like it. That's not the look I'm going for. I hate it. Hate it. So yeah, this coming Thursday, this bad boy. So last thing we're going to talk about before we have a little bit of news. And again, it kind of beat me to the punch when he came into the chat room today. Is that today is, of course, May 4th. May 4th is the sort of celebrity day for geeks, especially for people who are into Star Wars. This is a self-appointed title day they gave themselves as a kind of holiday for geeks, and it's like our day. So that's why I said when you saw the the thumbnail for the stream, it was May 4th day. So today is May the Force be with you. It's a play on words. They've had this for several years now, and it's always a good thing. Usually you can find a lot of good deals online. Your Amazons. One time you would have had Toys R Us doing special days. They would have done May 4th, but of course we have no Toys R Us here in the States currently, but that could change in the next couple of years. No, I hate it, Jackie. Even the wife, she likes it. I hate it. I hate it. So probably by the weekend, this will be gone. I absolutely hate it. I am not a fan. I am not. Thanks, Jackie, but I'm not a fan. Women like that, I am not a fan. It shows my age, and no. So yeah, May the 4th. It's again, it's a celebrity geek holiday, and I really, really like this day. That's on this day. I want to say 3 years ago when I first started the channel. I want to say 2017, close to 4 years ago. It's gonna be the 5th year anniversary this July, guys. Yep, it's easy to die. I picked up a lightsaber because they screwed up the price on Amazon, and I got it for it was a signature. It was a signature. No, it was a Star Wars Black Series. Star Wars Black Series Luke Skywalker blue lightsaber. I got that saber. I was trying to get the green one. The price they had it was for the green blade. I talk about the story all the time, but I got that blade for I think $15 or $20 US. They screwed the price up, put the wrong price. It was a legit $150 blade. It was a real blade. I did it as a giveaway. I did it as my 400 or 500 subscriber giveaway back then. And it was a fully functional, fully legit lightsaber. It wasn't broken. It wasn't defective. The packaging was open because I opened it to test the blade to make sure it was working fine. And the person who won it was local to me in South Florida. So I dropped the blade off to him at local Toys R Us that was open at the time. So he won the giveaway, which is very, very cool. So I was very, very happy about that. So again, May the 4th day is usually a good day for Star Wars products. I know they dropped a lot of Funko stuff. I'm not going to go into the pictures for it because they did a lot of Bad Batch stuff for Funko. I think some action figure stuff for Hasbro as well dropped. Some pre-order stuff that looks to be the new hotness. But I wasn't. I think even today the Bad Batch cartoon debuted. I believe today. Not a big fan. Again, that's more of the Clone Wars stuff. I think it shifted from the Clone Wars to Bad Batch. But it's something I'm not really hyped on. Maybe down the road I could possibly do it. I'm not a fan right now. The last bit of news before we talk Q&A is, let me switch over to this because this is kind of big news. At least big news coming from me. But again, May the 4th day. May the Force be with everybody before I make the switch over. Again, big fan of this particular bit of news that dropped. I think it dropped yesterday or the day before. I think it dropped Sunday or Monday, this particular piece of information. And it has to do with the Green Lantern TV series on HBO Max debuting in 2022. And of course, we're talking about this right here. I switch over to my other screen. Finn Wittrock from the American Horror Story fame has been casted as Guy Gardner. Very, very surprising. I didn't think... I don't know if this works, in my personal opinion. Let me just do this real quick here. Hold on. Let me just pop this open. Pop this. Give me 1 quick second, guys. I'll pop out the chat. So I can have it over here if you do chat to me. 1 second. I'll go back to that news story in a second. Perfect. Back to this one. So yeah, I don't know what to say about this one, to be quite honest. Finn Wittrock, he played one of the main characters in, I think, Season 3, Season 4 of American Horror Story, the issue with the Freak Show. If you've never seen the Freak Show season, very, very good. I'm not I've said this many, many times before, guys, I am not a horror guy. But I watched it with my then my girlfriend, then fiance, now wife. We watched it, and I liked the American Horror Stories from the Freak Show episode, and the 1984 one was really good too. Of course, Murder House was their best one. But Finn Wittrock has been cast as Guy Gardner in the HBO Green Lantern series. This was taken off comicsbeat.com. I will, as I always do, cite my sources, and I will put that in the chat. If you want to find the link, you're more than welcome to. But the idea is that he's been casted as the character Guy Gardner. If you're not familiar, Guy Gardner was a replacement for Hal Jordan years ago in like the Silver Age of comics. As far as the order of lanterns, if you're not familiar with the chronology of lanterns, you had the very first Green Lantern, of course, was Alan Scott. He's not really known as being a Green Lantern, but he was a Green Lantern created by Martin Odell, years ago. And he was a different character then. He's then known as the character Sentinel. I think he switched back to the character Green Lantern from Earth. I think Earth 2, he was now posed as being gay, came out of the closet. Very, very weird that we, taking that approach. But then after, of course, Alan Scott, then we had Hal Jordan. From Hal Jordan, if my timeline is correct, we go to John Stewart, and I think Guy Gardner. I could get them mixed up in their order. It might be Guy, then John. From there, from either of those two, then we go into Kyle Rayner. Then we go from Kyle Rayner into... from Kyle... We won't count Jade, because she technically wasn't a Green Lantern. From there we go into Simon Baz and Jessica Cruz, and then you have some newer Green Lanterns now. I think there's a Kid Lantern. Some of the Michael Bendis stuff from the Young Justice, I'm not familiar with that stuff. I've stopped reading Green Lantern books at least 3 or 4 years ago. I'm completely stopped. After the end of Rebirth, I completely stopped reading Lantern. Done. Completely done. Even that newer, I think I read the first 12 issues of that other Green Lantern series I was talking about in 2019. It was they did it as seasons. They did like a TV season. So they did 12 issues, which was absolutely atrocious. The worst written shit, pardon my French, the worst written shit I've ever seen in a Green Lantern comic. So I absolutely hated it. Didn't like it at all. So Jessica Cruz was the latest set of Lanterns, at least from that perspective. I'm not a big fan of her character. I didn't like her in the books. Still don't like the character. So they're doing stuff with, I believe, in the HBO Max TV series. If you notice here, they'll be highlighting right here where it says, I'll put my mouse cursor over it. They'll be hiding certain members, highlighting them. They're going to be talking about Hal Jordan eventually. I don't think in the first season or first few episodes. They're talking about Guy Gardner. They're talking about Jessica Cruz, Simon Baz, Sinestro, Kilowog, and of course Alan Scott. There's no John Stewart here, which is kind of odd because I believe the continuity of this show is going to shift from the Arrow TV show. The guy who played the character Diggle there, I think is going to be John Stewart in this new series. I thought he'd be pigeonholed perfectly into this show, but I don't think they're going to do that, at least for right now. So, that's what Gardner looks like. If you've never seen it before, this is more older school artwork of him. I'll make a correction in the details of the description box when this stream goes live tomorrow to put the pecking order of the Lanterns of how they kind of their chronological history. I know it's Alan then Hal. I think it's John then Guy, I believe, but I could be wrong. The only reason I think that Guy got the ring is because it was too far away to give it to Hal. That's where I think it happened. That's true, AA. So they're going to be doing Guy Gardner, the really campy Justice League series that was done years ago in 1997. The suits are that bad. That is supposed to be, I think, their Guy Gardner right here wearing what you think is a Green Lantern outfit. Looks more blue to me. She looks more green. I think that might have been, what was her friggin' name? I think it might have been, I can't remember what her name was. The one black girl right here. Jinx, maybe, or it's something to do with an animal. I think it was in the Justice League animated series. She's listed in there. Who I believe that character is. So, that's, I guess, Frost right there. I believe, if I remember correctly, also, in the comics, Frost and Lantern had a romantic thing going, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong there. So it's going to be very interesting seeing this new Green Lantern HBO Max TV show. I'm definitely eager to watch it. Hopefully they're not going to screw anything up. I'm hoping they do a good job. I really, really do. Don't know how it's going to work, though. I'm really hoping, really hoping they don't crap the bed. I thought that was even supposed to be tie-ins to, Ryan Reynolds from his Hal interpretation. I thought they were going to even touch base on that at one time. Get the camera focus. There you go, better color. I thought they were going to do that at one time. So we got about 6 minutes left, guys. Hit me up with some Q&A. We'll do the last 5 minutes with Q&A here, guys. What would you want to know? Shoot me up in the chat, please. Hit me up in the chat. We only got about 5 minutes left before we cut the stream tonight. Again, we're only doing a 30-minute stream. Let me know in the chat what would you like to talk about. Any suggestions for other subscription boxes, please let me know. Again, I've done Loot Crate. I've done Bambox twice. This will be my second time doing Geek Fuel. I did Collector's Case. I did Z-Box, which was utter trash. Let me know in the chat if you want me to do a subscription box, please, before we cut off the stream tonight. Let's see here. Okay. That's your Facebook page, AA? Cool beans. Yeah, so if you have any Q&A, please hit me up in the chat. We'll do any questions you might have for the next few minutes before we cut out. We have 5 minutes left to go on the timer. 5 minutes. I am still happy about the timer clock, how it comes in. I worked on that a little bit for the last couple months. I've been using it for the last few streams. Seems to be okay. If there's no Q&A, we'll cut it off at 9:30. We'll cut it off at 9:30. Anything else, guys, you want to talk about? Please hit me up. I did have a... Where did I put it? See if I can find it here. Where did I put it? There was a description. There was not description. There was a figure box. A figure up. One of my figures that, unfortunately, I'll do this real quick. One of my figures that unfortunately didn't make the cut to be reviewed. My Kenny Omega figure. The packaging was absolutely destroyed. It fell down, and I couldn't review this figure properly. And that figure, unfortunately, even though I like it to death, there's a lot of problems with it. Very, very good interpretation of Kenny, but there's a lot of problems when you pull that coat off. It gets really bad. Let's see here. AA. AA, to answer your question, yes. Hal would probably be the most widely known Green Lantern. I would say John would be a very close second, mainly for all his times in the Justice League cartoon. I would say that Hal is the most widely known Green Lantern. When you say, and of course even in the old cartoons and like Challenge of the Super Friends back in the mid-70s, it was Green Lantern Hal Jordan. It was always Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern. So he was known that. You like the clock. Which clock, Jackie? Yeah, so yeah, he's the most widely known Green Lantern. There's always, anyone who's a Green Lantern fan always has a favorite. There's never like someone who's like, if you're a Batman fan, you like Batman. There's, unless something happens in a weird kooky storyline, Batman's always Bruce Wayne. Always. Cool. Batman's always Bruce Wayne. He's always Batman. Superman's always Kal-El. He's always Clark Kent. You have, you might have different iterations of the character through timelines. You might have, let's say, Jonathan Kent, his son now, being the new Superman, which I think is the dumbest idea I've ever heard. Why they do that, I don't know. Oh, thanks, Jackie. Why they do that, I don't know. I don't know why they're aging Superman up so far with this weird future timeline stuff. I think it's utter trash. They did this before with DC 1 million years ago, and which would be what the continuity would have been like way further in the future. They shot that down. They did stuff with Kyle Rayner and him being like Space Jesus when he was the White Lantern. When he would go around with Glomulus and he would start healing people, and he was literally Jesus in space. But it's really, really bad. And doing this, again, they're screwing continuity up. They're doing this big omniverse now, where continuity is, they're not worrying about, Infinity Crisis or Infinite Crisis or different crises that happened. As far as the multiverse, it's one massive universe now. So that's why they're getting away from this sort of stuff. It's sort of Dan Dito's stupid bullshit way of doing continuity, which he really screwed DC over. Why he did this, I don't know. The most recent figure I ordered was back behind me, and that was the figure that I reviewed, which is Bo-Katan. I did that figure. I did a full review of that figure. Really enjoyed it. As I mentioned in the video, I think probably easily some of the best articulation, period, on an action figure. The stuff you can do with that figure is better than, I would say, most male figures on the market. Better than most Hasbro figures. Better than most Mattel figures. Hell of a lot better than the Mcfarland Toys ones, where you can, arms that would spin in 360 in different directions, legs would spin 360. It's super highly posable, good-faced scan technology. Do I have a favorite pop? I don't know if I have a favorite pop. It's like if you had to pick a kid. I like a lot of them. I don't have a favorite per se. There's a lot that I do like. As I mentioned before many, many times, my Big Bang Theory, my first 7 pops of Big Bang Theory were my original pops that I broke into Funko with. And those would probably be my favorites, because even though I destroyed the packaging years ago when I first got into it, and a few of the Game of Thrones pops when I first started getting in, those what broke me into Funko and made me shift from G.I. Joe and Transformers to Funko. Even though I collect a couple Transformers, I collect a few G.I. Joes, as you can see behind me, that's when I originally picked up my kind of passion for Funko. And I saw them just as a goof, and I was like, these little vinyl figures are kind of cool. And I slowly started getting into the figures and kind of understanding and watching a bunch of other YouTubers, and that's where I kind of built my channel around, watching a few bigger YouTubers who were doing Funko. I said, you know what? I could probably do this. I could probably get into this hobby and make this a channel and create content. And that's Funko me getting into Funko and fueling that passion drove me not only to Funko, but drove me into YouTube as well. Yes, I know it. Yes, I'm not monetized. Yes, I'm not making any money. I wish I was. I wish I could take money and throw it into the channel to get better lighting, better cameras, better computer. But I don't have that. I don't have that wage avenue, that area to where I can put funds into. I have to come out of my own pocket because of the way YouTube treats their YouTubers. Could I do Patreon? I could, but it's not the same. I don't like doing that. Have I watched Superman Lois yet? I did watch the first episode. Wasn't a big fan of it. My wife hated it. We're currently watching Smallville right now. We're on season 7 as far as the stream goes. And, excuse me, season 8. We just got into season 8, I think, last night going into today. We're on season 8 right now. It's okay. She was looking for how Superman, basically what was Clark Kent before he became Superman. She asked me that question. I'd like to see a series that does that. And she's like, oh, this Smallville show's good. And she liked the first few seasons. And I did too. And I come from the background of knowing this sort of stuff. I'm in the geek community. I know a good chunk of Superman's origin. She doesn't. So I come from the perspective of I know what they're talking about, and I can call bullshit with these writers doing what they do. Yes, they take a lot of creative license for certain things and do stuff specifically for the TV show, but it's a lot of bullshit that happens too. So, yeah, not a super fan when it comes to kind of play on words. Not a super fan of some of the things they do and some of the steps they take with Lex, and we make a joke about this all the time. How many times does Lex get knocked unconscious? Lex goes to the hospital. Lana gets knocked unconscious. Lana goes to the hospital. It was like every other episode. Literally, you could watch it sequentially and see, oh, Lex goes to the hospital. Now Lana's at the hospital. Now Lex is knocked unconscious. Now Lana gets knocked unconscious, so Clark can use his abilities. That was the idea. That was their kind of get out of jail free card. That was the trope they went into to try to circumvent his identity. So kind of weird. The season 8, kind of weird. Yes, you have the actress who plays Lana. She's gone. The actor who plays Lex, he's gone. So I'm assuming that they do this because of contract negotiations. If the actor wants to leave the show, they give him a spot where they could come back from their storyline, or they can be written off the show and come back later, usually several seasons or a season later is what they usually do. That's their normal approach when it comes to things like that. So yeah, that's it for tonight, guys. We had 6 people in chat. Thank you all for coming into the stream. This will be going up on a video on demand. That usually goes up a day later because unfortunately my channel doesn't get prioritized when it comes to getting this stuff up quickly. It takes, again, a day or so for that to happen. Cool. Who's my favorite porn star? I actually do have a favorite porn star, Sweet as Fish. I actually 100% do. But that'll be for another video. So we're gonna be cutting the stream tonight. I want to thank everybody who did come into the chat. We'll be cutting it, guys, in 3, 2, 1. Take care, guys. Stay tuned for Thursday's stream. Excuse me, Thursday's video. That will be doing the Geek Fuel unboxing video. Take care.